Chapter 2. The Cheese Thief. If you look very closely, you might notice, perched on the back of the big, round, fluffy black cat with a white paw and, often, cream on his whiskers, a mouse. If you listen closely, you might hear the mouse whispering instructions or jokes to the cat. This is because the mouse is a magical talking mouse called Skander. The cat is called Ginger Tom. Skander and Ginger Tom are the very best of friends. They live in the castle and roam the town. Skander has discovered that Ginger Tom looks so lovable, people cannot help but pat him and give him treats. Ginger Tom has discovered that Skander can ask for the particular treats they both prefer. This special arrangement, with both friends getting lots of help from one another, is called symbiosis. It is pronounced symbiosis. Well, don't worry, we're not going to come across that word again in this story. Probably. One day, when they were full from the treats of squid rings, anchovies, cream cakes, biscuits, and other delights, Skander and Ginger Tom headed back to the castle where they planned to take a well-earned nap. And when they arrived, they were horrified to discover a guard waiting to lock them up. You see, someone had stolen the large wheel of cheese from the castle kitchen, and when cheese gets stolen, mice always get the blame. "Hold on," said Skander. He would admit to being quite fond of cheese. Cheeses? "We did not steal the cheese." Ginger Tom, who cannot talk, agreed with a large meow. Meow. Everyone ignored him. "You're a mouse," the guard said. This was not a very helpful thing to say. "I am," Skander agreed, trying not to be cross. "But..." And this was a big but, a huge but. "But..." Skander said it again, even bigger this time, to make sure everyone was listening. "There are 3 reasons why it should be obvious that we did not take the cheese." Everybody waited to hear what he had to say. "The big cheese wheel is far too big for a mouse with such tiny paws to move," Skander said, showing them his tiny paws. Everyone thought about that. "Ginger Tom is far too lazy to move such a big wheel of cheese," Skander added. Ginger Tom meowed at this. Meow. Everyone ignored him. "Would you mind if I had a small crumb of cake and a sip of water?" Skander asked. "Oh, of course, dear," said the cook, handing him his tiny plate and cup. "Also," Skander pointed out, "I'm a very clever mouse, and so I know that if I ask politely, I will be given almost anything I need, and so I have no need to steal." "Well, who's right, you know?" said a voice from outside. A tiny puff of smoke came through the window, and then a long, dragony nose. The nose belongs to Brian, the dragon. He likes to try and be helpful. "You asked if we'd seem nice because mice love cheese," the guard protested. Brian the dragon knows a lot of things. He knows the names of the fish in the sea, how to fold a towel into a shape a bit like a swan, and several magic spells. He is not, I'm afraid, very wise. There is a big difference between knowing things and being wise. Knowing this is the first part of being wise. The guard pulled a sad face. He was quite good at guarding things, but not so great at looking for things when they'd been taken. "What am I supposed to do now?" he asked. Skander, the talking mouse, jumped up on the table and picked up a dry piece of spaghetti. He waved it over his head as if it were a sword. "I," he shouted at the top of his mousy voice, "will find the cheese." Ginger Tom meowed. Meow. The guard, the cook, and Brian the dragon all cheered. Hooray! "But first," Skander said, "I shall have lunch." This seemed fair.